Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Hilliard. I'm a partner with Elire. Hopefully, you were able to also attend our overview of our customization identification tool. This topic is around our Scope Object Tracker tool, which is a tool that supports the gathering of key data elements on all potential scope objects during a software development lifecycle, so an SDLC. And these efforts could be related to a implementation. If you're implementing a new module, could be related to an upgrade if you're going from 9.1 to 9.2, for example. Most of our customers today are using this for their PUM updates. So as you do each PUM update, we'll show how we can have different phases within the tool and track the efforts for each PUM update, keeping that history of what decisions were made from prior PUM updates. Could be just an optimization effort if you're looking to improve your P2P processes, let's say, or your benefits processes. An organization can coin any project level of effort, and the tool will support that. And also what we're seeing is our customers that are preparing for the cloud. If you're doing a transformation or planning a transformation to the cloud, the tool can help identify customizations, help you make decisions that will benefit that cloud implementation effort down the road as well. The tool also facilitates real-time tracking and monitoring of all in-scope objects throughout the project lifecycle. So these would be things like requirements analysis, the design of any design required, the build. So if you're in a PUM, the build part would be the retrofitting of customizations that were impacted. And then, of course, the testing. Every project's going to have some level of testing. The tool also supports real-time project resource capacity analysis as project work is being executed. So once you get into you get through the requirements analysis, and you get into the actual work of design and building and testing, the tool is used to then track the actual work being performed, the capacity of each resource on the project, to ensure that the work that has been assigned to every resource can be completed in a timely fashion to meet the project deadlines. The one thing that that we'll focus heavily on as we get into the requirements analysis phases within the tool is what we've referred to as our 7 Rs. And these are decisions that get made, in each one of those projects. If you're looking at customizations, whether you're going to retain a customization, replace a customization with delivered functionality, or potentially just fully remove a customization. There's 2 outliers where we may want to re-engineer a customization, and a great example of that is taking a customization and converting it over to a drop zone. If it's a page customization, potentially there's a drop zone that's available, so we're dampening the impact of that. Things like event mapping, if it's touching delivered record people code, we can look at the ability to move that into event mapping, and that makes that customization become a re-engineer. And then a redesign is completely taking a customization and rebuilding from scratch. And typically, we try to avoid that situation. We want to leverage delivered functionality where possible. The tool is also used to track requests, and what we refer to as a request as a new feature. So let's say a PUM 52 comes out and there's a feature that your team is interested in. We'd create a scope item and track that as a new request, which would then have design elements and potentially configuration and build. Okay, so looking at the actual Scope Object Tracker tool, it's a bolt-on application that Elire provides free of charge to our customers that are doing the efforts with Elire. It's a tool. It's a complete bolt-on. We provide the package that comes with the homepage that we're seeing now. So it comes with the delivered custom fluid homepage. All the tiles you see that then obviously provide navigation to the different components within our Scope Object Tracker tool. We have delivered analytics for reporting, as you can see on this tile here that has the real-time analytics of our recommended action decisions. We have dashboards that we'll take a quick dive into, that we would use throughout the various cycles of the SDLC. The first one is the module dashboard, which is what we would use during requirements analysis. And then the effort dashboard is what we would use during the actual design, build, configuration, and testing sections. Just a quick look at some of the analytics that we do have and the recommended actions, since we just covered the 7 Rs. And again, those are recommended actions that the team, not only Elire, but the Elire along with their customers, alongside them would make decisions on how we want to address certain customizations as part of the project effort. We can track, how we're trending as far as those decisions go. This happens to be a holistic view in this pie chart. So we're looking at only retaining about 63% of customizations overall, but then we can use the delivered capabilities within the pivot grid to then dive deeper into a specific module like AP. We can dive into AP to see how that module happens to be trending. Obviously, it's typically a different team. In this case, we're only retaining 50% of customization. So that's just an idea of how that dashboard can be used during the requirements analysis. The module dashboard is also something that we can use to track our efforts throughout the requirements analysis phase. And I mentioned how customers are using the scope object tracker across multiple efforts, across multiple PUM updates. It's this official phase at the top here that you can filter on. So we can have different, a PUM 50, a PUM 51, a PUM 52 phases. And all these dashboards would filter based on those efforts associated with that particular project or phase. But this just happens to show, how many objects we're looking at. And if this was a PUM update, we would only be showing, the customizations that were impacted in any requests or new functions or new features that we wanted to evaluate as part of that PUM project. This happened to be a large upgrade. That's why we're seeing so many objects in the counts here. But you can see how, as the team starts making decisions around customizations, the numbers get, tracked accordingly. How many removes we have, what's the percentage of removes. So as a team is working through the requirements analysis, leadership or your project management team can really watch the trending of how decisions are coming along, and what's the priority of these items, what's the complexity of these items, and then we start driving the actual effort that's going to be needed to actually perform the work. So once the leadership approves the final scoping of the requirements analysis phase, once we've made our recommendations and understand the effort that's going to be associated with it, the team jumps in then into the build of that effort. It's, a lot of times it happens just following the requirements analysis. Sometimes there's a gap there, but this is where the effort then would be tracked. So based on our requirements and analysis phase, we know we have an estimate of what the baseline design will be, the baseline configuration, the baseline development, the baseline testing. All that is tracked within the effort dashboard. We start having our team update as they work through the items, updating their actual hours spent, their percentage complete. We have real-time ability to then see what work is left in each of these buckets of work, and do we have the time to complete those efforts, during the allocated budgeted time frame to do the build. So that gives you an idea of how these different dashboards and some of the functions that are available within the scope object tracker tool.